This is my audience. Okay. Hi, I'm Brittany Bell, and I am here to talk to you about texting and driving. Texting is something that has become so natural to all of us. How many of us have smartphones or some kind of cell phone that is attached at our hip 24/7? We tend to not only be on it during work or school or downtime or anything, but we also have such bad habits of being on it while we're behind the wheel of a car. Texting is an action that so many of us do on a daily basis. We do it so often that the majority of us don't even think about stopping when we get behind the wheel of a car. Texting and driving is something that all of us are guilty of and also something that all of us do need to work on. It doesn't affect many of us until something bad happens, such as a wreck with a loved one or even us causing a wreck, even back or rear ending someone simply because we aren't paying attention, we're looking down at our cell phones. Something tragic like that is what it takes until some of us will learn. There are many ways to prevent ourselves from texting and driving. First, texting is something that so many of us do on a daily basis that we don't even think about stopping when we're in the car. As stated in Hand on the Wheel, Mind on the Mobile by Steven Seller, the Center of Disease Control estimates that 31% of adult drivers text while driving. While this may not seem like a lot, that means that only 69% of people on the road every single day do not get on their cell phones. While still that might not seem like a lot, that means that almost half of us are on our phones every day when we are driving to work or home or anything like that, and it really is scary when you seem to think about it. According to another study conducted by Caird and Collings, it was found that texting while driving produces significantly longer brake reaction times, increased collision, as well as adversely affecting the positions of lane changing, speed, and headway regulation. This means that our brake reaction time, like I said before, when we rear end someone, it is simply because we look down for, in our heads, it's 5 seconds, but in 5 seconds of driving, that can be, the decision of you rear ending someone or being able to stop right before you rear end them. That is a big deal. Even changing positions. We'll be on our phone, we'll look down, thinking it's clear on the right lane, we get over, and there you go, they clip us in the back. Next, texting while driving isn't the only thing that we're guilty of. As stated in Stephen J. Seiler's article, people rarely use mobiles just for making calls or just for texting. Rather, they commonly communicate through a variety of media on their mobile. We're not all guilty of just texting and driving. Some people might get on to change Pandora or to change a song or even to check Facebook message that they just got that they seem to think may disappear in a couple seconds. Some may even get on while at a stoplight to play a game really quick and not realize that the light just turned green and everyone's honking or they get rear-ended or things like that. So texting and driving is not the only thing that can be harmful on our cell phones while we are driving. So many of us cannot say that texting is the only action we do while we're driving. We are all guilty of checking social media, changing their station, whatever else it may be. According to James and Joseph Bernstein, the proliferation of text messaging services, web browsers, and interactive apps make modern devices even more distracting than voice-only cell phones, meaning that, which makes sense, a phone call isn't as distracting as texting, social media, changing station, things like that. Distractions are already all around us while we are driving, so the last thing we need is a device that takes our eyes completely off the road while we are driving. And everybody knows that. There's cool buildings getting built or a wreck. Think about when you see a wreck on the side of the road. Our eyes are so nosy that we just can't help but watch them. So the last thing we need to be doing is on our cell phones because the person in front of us may get distracted and there you go, you're going to rear end them. Lastly, there are so many technological ways that we can prevent ourselves from being on our phones while we are driving. As stated in the Safety Matters article that I read, one way of eliminating driving distractions is to install a no texting app onto cell phones. I actually went onto the App Store while doing this speech, and I did realize there are so many apps that you can get that you can simply slide, hey, I'm in my car. It almost locks your phone down for the time being until you get out. And it does make it to where you have no distractions on your cell phone unless you decide to take it off. Also, like AT&T does a pledge where you can go on and you can sign online and say, I pledge to not text and drive. While some people may do that and not honor it, some will because it is a pledge. There are apps that you can download, and most new cars also have hands-free Bluetooth options to help prevent phone usage. So many phones that are anywhere between 2010 to current have a Bluetooth system to where you hook up your phone or it does it automatically. You can talk through your Bluetooth, or even like my dad's truck, for instance, has it to where it'll read the text messages out loud, and then kind of like Siri in his car, he can, reply and it will send it to that person. According to another study done in 2009, texting while driving prevents a serious public safety problem, elevating the risk of an accident or near-accident event by 23.2 times over undistracted driving circumstances. That is a big number, everyone. It is scary, and when you look at statistics, you really do realize how harmful it can be. In conclusion, the number of accidents caused by cell phone usage is so high, and nothing can change that except for us accepting that it is dangerous action and deciding we will take the path to it. I took the path, and I hope you can too.